Yeah, g'day to all you mob and poo tube land. I thought I'd give you a tour of my shed. So I'll start down here. Got a few plants and stuff growing around, Hoyas and things. Anyway, I've got to try and keep this video short, so I must move on. So yeah, this is outside the shed. This is where I like to keep the engines, as I've run out of room inside the shed. So, got a few engine projects. This is the CS Lister Twin that I've done up. It's all running quite well and fitted a cooling tank. And I'm sort of looking at installing I think it's a 3 kilowatt 240 volt AC alternator. And that'll be a good generator. Yeah, under here, under the iron, is it's a Lister B engine. And under here is an old Victus lawnmower. Under the cover here is the old 1940s 80 cubic inch V twin engine. Another old engine under the cover here. Okay, around here. Old radio console, which I'm going to start pulling apart for bits. In this jungle here, the weeds, there's an old Lister B in there somewhere. That's part of a flywheel. Anyway, keep moving. Right. Got a few radio sets. Old transceivers that I'll need to look at. Old Traeger radios. Signal generator. Now this stand here, that's got bits and pieces of test gear and more transceivers up on the rack up here. Yeah, old shed's a bit of a chaotic mess most of the time. I suppose there's always projects on the go, so never have time to clean it. Oh yeah, display cabinet. Lots of vintage light bulbs and old instrumentation. Some carbon filament globes. There's a magnesium foil filled flash bulb. And these things go for a bang when they go off and they annihilate themselves. Bit of a supernova of those things. Lots of old radio tubes down that end. A few local gemstones from Central Australia and stuff like that. Righto. Part of my workbench. Spare parts down here. Little job I'm doing for someone. It's a 16mm film projector, and this one has a power supply problem, so working on that at the moment, try and sort that one out. A Boomerang 60 Nitro trainer plane. It's been a project that's been in the making for a long time, so it's another one of those must-do jobs. I'll find a way through here. These shelving units, these have all the spare parts for a lot of the old engines I've been working on. Keep all these on here. And more spare parts, magnetos, oilers, electrical instruments. Come in handy for switchboards and other fun projects. Yeah, more storage area for electrical parts and nuts and bolts and all that stuff. Oh yeah, it's my GEC fan, made in the 1920s, which I restored. Goes like a charm, this thing. It really works well. Nice solid fan, this one. I'll probably go for another 100 years. Yeah, more stuff for going out bush and camping. Billy cans and stoves and bits of camping gear. Electronic storage area, keep all the electronic components over here. Righto, coming back out here. That's right, yeah, in Alice Springs recently they had the local elections for the mayor, and some character went around putting up vote signs with these pictures on it, and the council got annoyed about it, so they sent some blokes out to go and pull these things down. So I managed to save a couple. So apparently this Cookie Monster bloke, he would have probably won the election. He got the most votes. And this bloke here, he's an ugly bugger, but not as ugly as the current mayor. He would have been deputy mayor. So I wish the election had gone their way. But anyway, let's have a look at this cupboard here. Yeah, keep lots of spare parts, sort of electronic projects, radio valves, Chang'e rectifiers, more high voltage valves, high pad rectifiers. Got various neon stabilizers, Decatron tubes for projects. A lot of the stuff's new old stock. A lot of good mixie tubes, brand new ones, and good pulls from equipment. Magic Eye tubes, these are very hard to come by, but I was lucky enough to get a number of brand newies and good ones that I've been testing, so I only keep the good ones. Righto, next one here's another cupboard. More projects. There's Nixie tube clocks, valve, stabilised power supply, various monitors, really cool devices, more test gear, old vintage time clock. Yeah, it's quite a beautiful little device and works really well, this one. More little monitors, little CRTs. Got some old valve amplifiers stashed in the back here. Yeah, they all seem to work alright. And up here got a few more parts and monitors in storage for future projects. Okay, keep moving. Over here, quick look at my electronics work area. Basically it's a good little spot to camp. I've got a recliner chair and a good little setup. Watch a bit of telly if I feel like it. Some more test equipment here. Old Soviet era Cold War telephone. Probably came out of a bunker or something. A Russian Nixie, well, it's not Nixie tube, but it's a VFD clock. Decatron counter. This is a cute little CRT monitor I found, and I think it was originally used in a studio camera. But you know, it's got a tiny little cathode ray screen. Works really well, I quite like it. Got a satellite receiver here. Nixie tube multimeter. Another clock I made up. This one I used an old instrument case from a water damaged instrument. I discarded the workings and installed a VFD clock in it. That works quite well. Righto, coming around here. Yeah, these shelving units I keep all my spare parts in. Good pulls from old equipment, old electric motors, gearbox combinations, and all good stuff for kinetic sculptures and that sort of stuff. Here's an old master clock I've picked up one time. It comes with a complete pendulum that hangs below the clock. This clock actually does work. I've just taken the pendulum off for safekeeping, and anyway, it's got all the little micro switches on it that send signals to the slave clocks that are connected to this device. So hopefully get this one cleaned up and running properly. Another of my little work here is I'll do a few experiments. Got an old valve radio I'm currently working on. It's an old Decatron Geiger counter, and that's a radium painted instrument dial, so it's got a fair bit of activity in it. And just over here, just got another unit, shelving unit, which keep more parts in, mostly transformers and power supplies and other potential projects in here. No worries, I just hope you enjoyed a very brief tour inside the shed. Thanks for watching.